If you have been following Sean's View Entertainment Books Monday Night Raw, this is part number 2 by request, by design. Part number 1 you can find before this video. I book Raw in 1, 2, or 3 parts, depending on how I book the show, depending on plans, depending on my strategy, and depending on what we can fit and what we can't fix. So check out part 1 of this video before this video. Click the video before this one. Share it on Twitter and Facebook. And if you would like more Sean's View Books Raw each and every week, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this video on Twitter and Facebook. Once again, I'm not going to go back on what I said in part 1 because all you got to do is click the video before this one. So remember, this is a continuation of tonight's Monday Night Raw, my plans, my strategy, and my booking. So we kick it off. Well, we're already into the show, but from around 9:06 to 9:09, and remember, I do counter and commercial breaks and all that stuff. We're now on segment 7. We ended the last chapter, the first part. We ended the first part with a Chris Jericho interview challenging Roman Reigns to a match. But then Roman Reigns is shown backstage in his locker room knocked out. Trainers and referees are trying to assist Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns looks the worse for wear. The question now is, who did it? Who was behind it? Why did Roman Reigns get attacked? Was this part of a plan? Was this part of a setup? So that lasts from around 9:06 to 9:09. So now the question throughout the night is going to be, who attacked Roman Reigns? And what was it in for them? Was it Seth Rollins? Was it Chris Jericho? Was it Kevin Owens? Was it Triple H? Next up, we have match number 2 of the night, segment 8, 9:12 to around 9:30. We have a handicap match, Big E versus the challengers to the tag team titles, Gallows and Anderson. And after a valiant effort, Gallows and Anderson end up getting the victory. Big E fought with all he could. After the match, though, a win for Gallows and Anderson, it wasn't enough. They had to continue to attack Big E, which then Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston come out. They clear the ring. Now, while they're helping Big E back up, okay, after the savage attack from Gallows and Anderson, while their backs are turned, helping Big E up, Gallows and Anderson come back into the ring with steel chairs and attack the New Day savagely. So Gallows and Anderson sending a strong message to the tag team champions with steel chairs to their backs and their legs. So the New Day actually ended up having to be carted out. They did the stretcher job where they got stretchered out of the arena. So Big E, the New Day, they suffered the consequences tonight on Monday Night Raw. Remember to continue to follow me, subscribe, comment, share my videos on Twitter and Facebook. It will help the foundation and Sean's Entertainment grow further and further. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with a commercial break added in there, we go to segment 9, match number 3 of the night. Bayley defeats Summer Rae. Match goes from around 9:35 to 9:42, but then Dana Brooke appears on the Raw stage. She distracts Bayley. Bayley has her eyes on Dana Brooke. So Charlotte would come out from the crowd and attack Bayley from behind, locking in the figure 8, sending a message to Bayley that she's the champion and she is a force to be reckoned with, and that Bayley is not in her league. So that segment goes from around 9:45 to 9:50, and of course, while Bayley is locked in the figure 8, Dana Brooke is shouting at Bayley. So Bayley not having a good night for Bayley as she rolls on to attempt to wrestle away the WWE Women's title from Charlotte. Then we go to segment 10, where Stephanie McMahon is checking on Mick Foley backstage after he was hit with a pedigree. You might remember from early in the night, part 1 of this. Remember, this is part 2. There's going to be a third part as long as you like, comment, share, subscribe. Backstage, after the pedigree, Mick Foley's being checked on by Stephanie McMahon. Mick Foley vows that Seth Rollins will pay for his actions, and Stephanie says that Rollins is out of control, he's irate, and she should suspend him. And Mick Foley says, no, that would be too easy. Foley says that he understands that Rollins is frustrated, but Rollins needs to take it out on others and not the general managers. Foley says that he will think of how to deal with Seth Rollins. Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon think that Rollins is responsible for Roman Reigns being taken out earlier in the night backstage, because as we all know, Roman Reigns was found backstage hurt, injured, and out. So that runs from around 9:55 to 10 p.m. And then as Triple H and Mick Foley are talking backstage, a knock is heard at their door, okay? And Stephanie opens the door, and it's Triple H. And that will end the next hour of Raw as we go into the third hour of Monday Night Raw, the 10 p.m. hour to 11 o'clock, and that will be the third hour, which will be the third part of me booking Monday Night Raw. Remember, to see the chapters and the evolution and to see how I plan and book it, check the video out before this one that will coincide with part 2, which will then coincide with part 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your comments and your opinions, and how do you like the booking, the planning, the strategies? Now that Triple H is knocking at the door of Stephanie and Mick Foley, you got to wonder, what is Triple H going to say? What is Stephanie and Mick Foley's reaction going to be? Or what about Seth Rollins, who is looking for Triple H? You got to wonder, how is Seth Rollins going to react to all of this? And who attacked Roman Reigns backstage? All that and more to come in the third hour, in this third installment of Sean's View and Books Monday Night Raw. Subscribe.